everybody. I am super excited to introduce you to an absolutely amazing person, Dan Beam. We met a couple years ago, and we pulled him into the Tahoe world. This is such a passion for all of us to live in the outdoors, just like we are today. But Dan is bringing something super special and unique to our area, specifically for kids and enhancing their learning. So I wanted to really give everybody an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what he does and who he is. So Dan, tell us, what is your inspiration and what have you brought to our Tahoe area?
Kelly, thank you so much. Let me start my story of being an educator with being a student. As a student, I was a really passionate, excited learner, and I was also dyslexic, which meant it was just a little tricky. And through my time as a student, I experienced amazing teaching and teaching that wasn't working well for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on to college, and after college, my passion for being outside spoke to me. I never even thought that teaching was open to me because school was so challenging.
Mm.
So I taught outdoor education for years and years. I taught rock climbing and backpacking and group skills and social emotional skills outside, and absolutely loved it.
Mm.
And then about 8 years ago, I was like, all right, it's time to get my adulting on. And so I went to grad school to become a teacher and worked in 2 schools in Marin County in the Bay Area, and absolutely loved working with kids, absolutely loved kind of the cutting edge new ways of teaching students that is less about rote memory and more about kind of explorative discovery. And loved that, but realized I was working 65 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a really passionate rock climber and skier, and wasn't really getting a chance to do that as much as I wanted to. And so this year I made the move, came out here, and I also went back to grad school to become a learning specialist. So I went to grad school to get my degree again in therapy this time, which to me brings it all together because
Sure.
I've experienced what it's like being a student with learning disabilities, and I've learned lots of amazing teaching practices, from my first grad school and my 8 years teaching, but then learning, specific ways to meet kids' needs.
Mm-hmm.
And now what I'm finding is even students that don't have learning disabilities can really benefit from kind of interventions, specialized interventions, because of the last 2 years of crazy COVID.
Exactly. And I was going to share that was something that when we started talking about what you're offering really kind of hit home to my heart.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm really seeing these kids having to, and especially Maya, she's such a learner that loves information, loves to be able to apply it. And I am the same way. And so I could really see the difference of kids who have felt really isolated. And that's why people are also drawn to the Tahoe area to live, is because you can really learn and apply things outside and in different ways. Like, we were sitting here at Coffee Bar, and I was sharing with you that this is like a very easy learning style for me, is to be in an area where there's some action going on, and I do really well when I have something going on around me and I can focus that way, where other kids need to have it completely silent. And I really do appreciate and I'm passionate about individualizing things, in our work and how we are with people. It's all about the people.
Yeah.
And we're the resource that is able to provide that for them, is all these different tools to get them to their happy place, and making them feel good from inside.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you are offering here for the summertime, for people that maybe are bringing their kids up for a week or for a few months, or here full time during the summer? I know a lot of parents are kind of wanting their kids to have some form of consistency, because I know when you hit school again, that first couple weeks can be pretty tough if you're not keeping in the flow.
Yeah, absolutely. So during the year, I'm mostly doing intervention, but also just kind of enrichment of bringing the fun back into learning and finding the spots that are a little lower and bolstering those. In the summer, I'm also excited to do kind of like outdoor education, kind of like friend groups where they're learning outdoor skills, they're playing with other kids, they're building things. That's something that I did for years before I taught, and
Right.
it feels like a real treat to be able to offer that again.
Uh-huh.
And on my website, there's a spot where there's a mailing list that people can go on to, so that when I start finding families that want to do that, I can let them all know when and where
Different
that'll be.
events and things like that that you put
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
What about if people would like their kids to have enrichment and like support just on subjects throughout the summer?
Absolutely.
Maybe not 8 hours a day, but
No.
like, you know, what do you have that would be able to match that need?
Yeah, so I am definitely going to be working with students like for an hour a day, for 2 or 3 times a week. Depending on interest, if people are really interested, and I can find groups of students that have, similar levels and they want to do math, we could do like a 2-hour math group with 4 students. I've done that in the past, certainly as a teacher, and really, really loved it. We design a whole lot of games and kind of like projects where they're discovering and learning from each other. So that's something that can definitely happen too.
Yeah, I love that interaction, practical and practice at the same time, because I don't think any of us love to just like learn something just to learn it so we can check it off the box,
No.
but more like why am I learning it? And
Right.
so that's what it sounds like. You really kind of give that experience, so there's the true practical everyday life piece that's really inspiring, and then it becomes very intrinsic as to why they want to learn more and why they want to apply it, or gives them some great ideas.
Yeah, you were talking about like part of the lifestyle of being up here. I find that's crucial to my work, but also just like a student's happiness and feeling like a whole solid person are my passions, are the things that like drive me and excite me, are those on the table too in my learning. And so a big part of what I do is finding out about what kids love and incorporate that into learning, bringing in, if we're learning a writing style, we're finding books that they love and reading those, and then trying to like incorporate some of those skills into their writing. We're writing about, skiing, we're writing about art or making things. And I think a place like this, I have parents asking me, like, we're thinking of coming up here and doing, a school that's a little less academic, but they really love skiing. And I think the research is really clear around kids that have something that they're passionate about. It absolutely impacts their social skills, their academic skills, and all those things are kind of connected.
Yeah. Well, I'm super excited for us to be able to share this with everybody and everything that you have going on. And so I will connect everyone to your website.
Yay.
And we'll get to know you better.
Kelly, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Wonderful.